Are you a free man?
I am.
Are you? How'd it go?
Dismissed, charges dropped.
Oh, not even a misdemeanor?
No.
Oh, fully dropped. Damn, dude, look at you.
Yeah. That's why.
You look like Johnny Sins, dude.
This is why it got dismissed.
Is it?
They're like, oh, he's professional. Speaking of, look at these ledges.
I got the curb covers.
Maybe we wax them?
Right.
Yeah, let's just skate them right now.
All right, so we can finally fucking talk about this.
Let's walk. I want to get away from this place.
Let's get out of here.
I still feel kind of taboo about it.
I mean, your charges were dropped. We're fine.
Yeah. I'm still gonna like send the rough of this video to my lawyer and be like, hey, is this all cool? Like, nothing incriminating in here? Like,
wait, what would be incriminating about documenting your experience of getting arrested for doing something?
I don't know. Now I'm just paranoid because things that I put on YouTube get me arrested.
Dude, you're documenting the fact that you got arrested by doing something, so you're telling other people, like, you know, hey, this is what happens if you do this.
It's kind of a public service announcement.
Exactly.
Like, don't do what I did.
Yeah.
Because you'll go to jail.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it could have been anyone in that neighborhood.
Sure.
Or it could have just been, like, dumb luck of somebody from the city of Newport seeing that and being pissed off about it.
I mean, it definitely wasn't the people across the street, across the canal,
They were
cheering us on.
I mean, the whole time we were there, everybody was, like, very enthusiastic.
Yeah, they were like, no way, that's so cool.
And if anyone told us to leave, we would have left.
Right.
You know, like, looking back on the whole thing, I mean, the whole reason we made the video, I genuinely didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong or breaking the law.
Well, also something that I didn't do on my end, that was my mistake, I didn't film Corey put the fence back up, and that's what they were so pissed off about, because someone else went back like the following week, took the fence out, and they didn't put it back.
Yeah, that would have been helpful to have that.
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't do that, because we didn't cut anything. We just undid bolts and then put them back and then put the bolts back.
Exactly. I filmed exactly how you did it.
I put them pretty tight. So the fact that people went there after we posted the video, because people got excited, like, oh, cool, I want to jump in the water too.
Right.
So then, you know, my arresting officer was showing me photos of the fence. He's like, yeah, look at it. This is all messed up. And this, I was like, I didn't leave it like that. So maybe that would have been helpful
for sure
in hindsight. But I mean, you shouldn't mess with stuff, and if you do, you shouldn't put it on the internet.
And if you do, you shouldn't do it in Newport.
That too.
We're here. We're back at the scene of the crime.
Yep. The house that we're suspecting
was pissed.
Wasn't happy about this does have a sign that says we support Newport police. Dude, so after all that, there's still
like, it's still fucked up.
Done.
They didn't even fix it.
That's crazy.
What are they doing with your money?
So I paid almost $1,800 for the restitution for this to be repaired, which is why I got charged with felony vandalism. So when you steal something, right, there's like grand theft, and I think that cap is like $950. So you can steal like $949. It's a misdemeanor. With vandalism, that threshold is actually only $400. So because they had a licensed contractor come out here and say, yeah, we're gonna charge you $1,800, I couldn't just, because when I first got arrested and I was talking to the officer, was super cool, and I was like, can I just go fix it? Like, I kind of loosely have a construction company, like I know what to do, like I could just fix it and then there's no damage. And he's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, so somebody quoted $1,800 to basically tighten these wires back up, which they're not even that tight. I made them tighter when I put them back together. And then
someone did come here and undo it, because it was not left like this. This piece of wood wasn't here. There was a bigger post that was here.
There was a bigger beam, which we undid, and then we put back. The officer was like, oh yeah, that piece is long gone. I think like whatever skaters came and skated this after us just kicked it in the water or something.
Dude.
Which, like, whatever, I guess that's on me. So the videos, they did get a lot of views, and I remember there was a lot of like hate comments. There was a lot of like, oh, I hope you guys get arrested, your white privilege is showing, all this stuff. Those are people that just don't understand how skaters operate.
Right.
Like, it's not a matter of privilege, it's just like, we see a spot, we can't help it. It's like this itch that you gotta scratch.
Yeah.
Like, that's a spot.
But also the thing is too, is that like, they were acting like as if it's some sort of private property. This is public city property too, so it's not like we're not destroying someone's house.
Yeah, like this is all, I don't know, city of Newport Beach, or
right?
Maybe like
Orange County, who knows?
Harbor, or the county owns
yeah.
it. I technically damaged public property.
Right. Yeah, I don't, it was, yeah, the comments were weird, dude. It's just like, which is crazy, because when I was here in 2020 and made a video skating it, no one said shit.
Yeah.
But what, all because we, like, undid the fence? Like, I don't know. Like, the conversation that people, like in their mind, they're like, the audacity of you to do that. And I'm like, dude, it's, like, if you have the tools and simple common sense knowledge, like, undo, put back, easy.
Because had it been a situation where we needed to cut these, we wouldn't have done it.
No.
Like, if this was like a real railing and welded together and we had to cut welds.
No, we weren't going to cut it.
We wouldn't have done it. The only reason it felt okay to do was because we were just undoing bolts. All that said and done, I mean, the city and maybe potential residents around here, just, they weren't happy that, like, we advertised to the world, like, yeah, come do this. That was the biggest thing, right?
It's been like 6 months. Let's get into how crazy this was that this happened. Like,
it's been a while.
Like, oh, dude.
So we filmed it, what, in like September?
Yeah, it was.
I think we filmed it in September.
It was posted in September.
And while we were here, you know, nothing bad happened. Nobody said anything. Like, nobody kicked us out. We would have been happy to leave had we been kicked out. And
there were people across the canal cheering us on. People driving by boats cheering us on.
People were hyped.
Yeah.
And, you know, we posted the video, like, maybe like a month went by.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I was driving my son to daycare. He's 2 years old, so he goes to a daycare about 10 minutes from my house. So then I'm driving to daycare. I pull out of the driveway. I make the first right at the end of my street, and I get lit up by like 4 cars, like unmarked cars. And I was like, that's weird. Like, did I roll through the stop sign? Like, that's strange. So whatever, they pull me over, you know, Mr. Keene, please step out of the car. I'm like, okay, why do they already know my name? That's not good.
Right.
And then he was like, I'm Officer so-and-so, City of Newport Beach. I think you know why I'm here. And then I was like, Newport Beach, ah, shit. Yeah, I also just want to preface that, like, me giving this recap of what happened, I'm not, like, bashing Newport Beach or, like, any of, like, our judicial system, whatever. I literally just want to, like, explain what happened because it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm driving, I get pulled over, you know, Miranda rights, cuff me, sit me down. And then I was like, can I call my wife to, you know, come get my son? Or do you maybe like have another officer that can like sit with him and just kind of play with toys with him? So they did have a female officer.
Dude, I'm like paranoid. Do you think we're being followed now?
No.
Okay.
No, so, okay, so they're like, we're gonna take you into custody. They let me call, I was like, can I call my wife? They're like, yeah, but we need to get you in another vehicle and we're gonna put you across the street because they had like a influencer protocol on me. They were worried that, you know, someone was gonna like film my arrest and we're gonna blast it out there.
So crazy.
Which whatever, so they did that, and then as we went across the street, yeah, so then we go across the street, we're in like a minivan, and then Angela happened to call me, so then they let me answer, and I was like, hey, so here's the situation, don't freak out, I'm under arrest, I'm in the back of a car right now. She's like, where's Jack? I was like, Jack's across the street, he's in my truck, just right around the corner from our house, like, walk over, get in my truck, take him to daycare, we'll like figure this out later, we'll figure out, you know, if I can post bail or whatever. So she was cool about it.
Then she called me.
What was that conversation
She was like, hey, don't freak out. Corey got arrested. They might be coming for you. I was like, what?
So yeah, when they were taking me to the station, we had a long drive because it's with no traffic, like Long Beach to Newport's maybe like 35, 40 minutes.
And it was in the morning when
traffic. It was morning, rush hour, crazy traffic on the 405. So I'm with these guys for like an hour and a half. And they were cool. Like I like those dudes. They were like, you know, hey, it's not up to us. You know, someone pressed charges and we're just enforcing the law. I get it. I know it's not like on you or like you don't.
But it was crazy that the city of Newport had officers go out of their jurisdiction into another county to come and get you for that.
Yeah, pretty wild.
That's pretty crazy.
And it turns out they were actually trailing me because they mentioned something about Jason Park. They're like, oh yeah, who's that guy that was doing crazy tricks on the purple ramp at your shop? And
yeah,
like,
when we were filming the Jason Park video.
Wait a minute, that was yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, how do you know that? They're like, oh, well, we had eyes on you. Like, they were like fully trailing me, which is crazy. So the reason they trailed me, they were looking for the right time to arrest me so that you know, friends or family or skaters or my
No one was
wife
gonna film you.
could film it and document it. So yeah, we had this long conversation on the way there. It was pretty funny because there was a younger officer in the front who was driving, and he was totally a fan, and he like got it, and he was jazzed on stuff. He was like, hey, so I saw, you know, you and Garrett hang out and you skate, like, is he cool? I was like, yeah, he's rad, he's great. And he's like, yeah.
Or was he playing nice cop, good cop, bad cop?
I don't know. I think he genuinely like was enthusiastic about like what my company does, and like those unique situations that we get to find ourselves in. And he was like, yeah, I saw you skating with Steve-O. Like, you ever met any of those guys? I was like, oh yeah, like Wee Man's a regular at Salute, and like I've met Steve-O, and I met this Bam and these people and yada yada, and they thought that was so cool. There was one point where my arresting officer kind of was like, you know, like, cut it, like stop being so nice to this guy.
Oh, really?
There was a little bit of like,
okay, so it wasn't just good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. I think he kind of pulled rank on him, like, you know, don't be so nice to the prisoner.
You're encouraging him.
Yeah. So, you know, they asked me like everything that happened. Why'd you do it? Who'd you do it with? What happened? What tools did you use? And so I go through and I tell the whole story of like why we did what we did, how I didn't think I was breaking the law, you know, how I didn't like physically cut anything. I put it all back, and then he showed me the photos of like, no, it wasn't put back properly. And I was like, I didn't do it like that. He's like, well, people went after you and did it, and it's kind of your fault. Okay, whatever. And then they also were like, so what was Decker's involvement? They called everyone by the last name, like, you know, Jenner and Decker. And I was like, he just films, like he films for me. Like, so did he help? I was like, no, he did not help. Like, it was all my idea. It was all my tools. It was all my hands on the tools, taking it apart. And they're like, what about Jenner? What did he do? And I was like, also, he was just there as my friend and as a favor to like skate this thing. And then they're like, okay. I was like, are you gonna call them or question them? He's like, yeah, we might. So then you were kind of like,
I was panicking. I was like, God damn it, now I have to like deal with this and like.
And then when I get to jail, you know, they process me, and one of the guys that was working in the jail, he was super nice, and he was like giving me the lowdown. He was like, hey, there's a good chance like you're probably gonna be able to go without posting bail, and he's like, just ride it out, you know, if you got a couple hours to kill, like, you'll be all right.
Were you sitting in a holding cell?
Yeah, so that was another kind of funny thing, was they had a locksmith. I mean, Newport doesn't have a lot of crime, so there wasn't people in jail with me. Okay. They probably have like 7 or 8 cells, and they had a locksmith there replacing locks or something. So they're like, sorry, we got to put you in the tank. It's like, what's the tank? And it was like this room that had a urinal, a toilet, and everything was padded.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The floor was padded, the walls were padded, and there was just...
You got sent to the gulag.
Yeah. So I spent like an hour in there, and then, you know, I'm just like, okay, gonna kill some time. Stretching, just kind of like, trying to save...
Did you start smacking your head against the wall?
No.
They look on the camera, so like, something's wrong with him.
I did start, I was doing these little like lunges, and there was like a pony wall next to the urinal. So I was like, what's it called when you jump on and off?
Box jumps?
I was like box jumping on the pony wall, and then they, over the speaker, were like, Mr. Keene, please get off that.
Really?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to stay active. And then, so then I spent like an hour in there, and then they put me in a regular cell, and then I spent like an hour and some change in there, called a bail bondsman, posted bail, you pay 10%.
So it was like $200.
Thank you, Angela. No, it was a little shy of 2,000.
So your bail was 20 grand?
20, yeah.
Whoa. Do you have to pay the rest of that?
No.
Okay.
No, so, and then basically the bonds companies, they are paying that 20,000, and then they get...
You take out a loan, basically.
Yeah, kind of, and they get the balance back. So they're charging you like a 10% interest up front.
Right,
on the whole thing. And then they were like, I asked if they had any discounts.
You idiot.
They're like, oh, are you a teacher? I was like, no. They're like, you this,
right.
you that.
If anyone has any right to call out like white privilege, this is the video they have it in, because you're like talking to them. They're like asking you about Steve-O, and you're doing box jumps in the cell. You're fucking asking like They have a discount.
I got a discount.
No way.
Small business owner.
Whoa.
I was like, me and my wife. Perfect. So yeah, shout out Lipstick Bail.
Nice.
They hooked it up. So yeah, then I posted bail, got out, and then Angela's like, you want me to come pick you up? And I think I was talking to like TJ, and he's like, you want me to come get you? And like my father-in-law maybe. Like everyone offered to give me a ride, which I'm super thankful for. But I was like, I don't want to like inconvenience you guys with like my bullshit that I got myself into. I'll book an Uber.
You literally could have called me.
Nah, it's all good. So I walked out, you know, they give you your shoes back with the laces out. So I'm like walking down the streets of Newport, like putting my laces back in my shoes. Went to the gas station, got like a coffee and a granola bar because I hadn't eaten that day. And then yeah, called an Uber and just got home and kind of went on with life.
And we had to take everything down.
Yeah.
You got a lawyer, we had to take everything down so that it didn't look bad in court.
After that all went down and I got arrested, then I hit you up. I was like, hey, let's take everything down. And that wasn't like, the city didn't say you have to. It just felt like a bad look, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, clearly they're very upset about this. It just feels like the respectable thing to do.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to a lawyer, I was like, is that a good call, like taking it down? He's like, yeah. He's like, you don't have to, but like it's a better look for you. You know, like the DA is like looking into your case and they see that you're still, you know, essentially like monetizing off of your crime. That's not a good look. So I was like, okay, for sure.
With that being said, the video's live again, so if you want to go watch it.
Is it?
No, but it will be once this comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, should we have it in the bio maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you paid restitution, you did your due diligence. There's no reason why people shouldn't be able to enjoy that video now.
Yeah, that's true. And like, we are letting our viewers know, like, don't come skate this.
Yeah, we're doing it right here. We're doing that thing.
Mind your P's and Q's in the city of Newport Beach.
I mean, dude, if anyone else decides to take that thing off, you paid for your crime. Yeah. If anyone else decides to do that, that's on them, dude.
For sure.
That's on them.
Thanks. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I got a lawyer, and then he was like, all right, we gotta, because I got charged with a felony, which is not good.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, I can't have a felony on my record. There was a couple reasons. My wife and I recently purchased a building that has a restaurant in it that has like a beer and wine license, and then my mom called me freaking out, was like, you could lose the building and like your insurance rates are gonna go through the roof and this is gonna haunt you forever. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I can't have a felony.
Right.
So then, you know, met with the lawyer, told him everything about the case, everything about me. A lot of it, he just wanted to know like what I do, what I'm about, what good my company has done. So I was like, oh, we do tons of give backs, tons of giveaways.
Getting skate parks built for kids.
Like we do all kinds of that stuff.
Right.
So he's like, all right, perfect. He's like, let's put some character reference letters together. So yeah, basically put together all these letters, character references, printed out a bunch of like news article publications about me and the business, and we're just like, hey, this wasn't the intention. Like, not out here to like commit crimes and make people do bad things. Like it's like my mission is
we were trying a stunt idea.
Yeah,
it was a stunt idea.
My mission is the polar opposite of that.
Yeah.
So then when I had court, basically my lawyer presented that to the DA and was like, here's who this guy is, here's what he's all about. We think that he should pay for the crime, pay for the restitution, and anything else that could help this case. Let us know. We want to get charges dismissed. So the DA did agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pay restitution, the $1,800 to fix this, and then I had to give them my DNA sample, like, you know, spit and rub my cheek and whatever, and all my fingerprints for the database, because I guess whatever judge is up for re-election, that's one of the things they want. They want people's DNA for the database, so that
low-key kind of weird.
I mean, I get it. It's like a stat. So when the guy who's like up for re-election, they're gonna say, oh yeah, Joe Schmo collected 10,000 samples, and that's gonna help solve.
Right, but the thing is I'm like, the thing that I'm asking is like, why is that a quota?
To solve or to figure out unsolved crimes, right?
Oh, so if they have more people in the database, then they can rule out more people.
Exactly. So had I committed
that makes okay
a murder or something like years ago, and
they can just pull your shit up.
Yeah, now I'm in the system. Now they can cross-reference it.
All right.
So when I asked the lawyer, I was like, is that like, should I give my DNA? He's like, yeah, bro, like for sure. Like, as long as you didn't commit rape or murder, you have nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay, definitely didn't do any of those. So yeah, let's do it. DNA. So gave my DNA. So today was my arraignment. So I just had to show the judge that I did what the DA asked. I paid my restitution, and
which was to fix that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I gave my DNA sample, and then they're like, okay, cool, case dismissed.
No misdemeanor, nothing?
No charges. I'll have an arrest on my record, I think, for 3 years, but
it just shows that you were arrested.
it just shows that I was taken into custody.
Right.
Which I.
But it doesn't. You weren't charged, so.
Yeah, no, I don't have any criminal charges, which is great.
Yeah.
Super thankful for. It was a massive headache. It took 6 months for it to all get sorted out. Being a skateboarder, a lot of times we are bending the rules, trespassing, breaking the law. Just be smart about it, be respectful about it. Anything that you're doing, just think about like, what are the repercussions?
Well, I will say now that I'm older, I definitely like, you know, because when you're a kid, you're like, fuck everything, fuck the world.
Yeah.
I can skate anywhere I want because I'm skating, and skating is fine.
There's an element of privilege
and entitlement. 100% entitlement.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't really want to skate someone else's house.
Yeah,
I don't want to. Not that we were skating someone's house, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to go and like make someone else's day harder.
This whole situation has like made me have a lot more respect for the law, which maybe I needed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're a free man nonetheless.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
Okay.
I don't like being here.
Yeah.